Since currently it's the four of us, so we're doing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're dialing in from. Welcome to the 2025 KNX USA webinar series. I'm David Thoreau. I'm the Secretary Treasurer for the KNX National Group USA. KNX has national groups around the world. There's more than 40 countries that are in national groups. We're charged with promoting the KNX standard and supporting the local KNX manufacturers, installers, integrators, and end users. This webinar series is to help do exactly those tasks. KNX USA members and training center information is available at our website, which is knx.us, and that would be very useful for you. There also is a program that's very that is very important to KNX. It's an engineering tool software, cleverly called ETS6. We're in version 6 after 35 years. That means we're very judicious in our updates and development of this tool, which is really the key to how 500 manufacturers and 8,000 products can all be used on the KNX, meeting the KNX standard. This software is available, by the way, from knx.org. There's a free demo version. It's the same software no matter what, but the demo version is only good for 5 devices. If you have more than that, then you can see on the website what it is to purchase a light license or a professional license. The demo version is very handy for doing simple training and also looking at what's available within a device. I would like now to introduce our manufacturer for the week. Eelectron is a long-established leader in the products systems and interfaces design. They're based outside of Milan, Italy, so as you can imagine, the designs are spectacular, a very premier design strategy and design aesthetic that's really cutting edge for us. We've found their products to always be very fitting in the products area, and as you'll see, they've done a lot of adaptations to make them suitable and conform to the USA market. So with that said, Dario, the webinar is all yours. I'll turn off my camera to get out of the way.
Thank you, David, and thanks for the introduction, and of course, good morning to everybody. So as David said, I'm Dario Sala. I'm the development leader for Eelectron, and then the way in which we are promoting the solutions in KNX for the US market. Here today, in line to this webinar, we highlight some of our products that are available. Let me say, David already in such a way anticipated the design effects that are part of our portfolio. However, before to start, just to have a quick introduction about the company. The company has been founded now 30 years ago, let me say, in near to Milan, in Legnano, in north of Italy. And we had an evolution that we brought to us a couple of other companies that we acquired in the past 2 years, IPAS and Dixter, which together we contribute to provide the portfolio that will be explained just after the initial presentation. We are about 80 people and with total in R&D capabilities that are in Milan, in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and in Duisburg in Germany. And from that, we are basically the installation in more than 90 countries. Our portfolio is a mix of design products, intelligent devices that does lights, blind, control, comfort, and a few other topics that you will see later on. We apply KNX as a measure secure standard, but considering the market requirement in terms of solutions that you need to connect DARI devices or interact with Matcher or MQTT, those are other technologies that we are using around the portfolio, and in order to provide a full ability to control your home or your office or in general your building. The company is also participated by Bensing, which is a Swedish-based group, but that also owns companies in North America like Greystone, and of course, Prodwell is another example of similar capability. So we are product to applications providers in the overall point of view. Having said that, the portfolio, let me say, is designed to fulfill the home and building automation, but we consider by vertical some of the application because it is equally valid to really deliver the solution according to building type and occupants. So hospitality, which for us means hotels, student houses, and senior living houses. Apartments, both as a villa, residence, also in mixed-use building, like multi-apartments in the condos and similar like that. Hospitals, clinics, and rest homes in the reference to the visitors and the patient rooms. And of course, every place in which there is a room or a Zoom automation to be done, offices, campuses, buildings that can be governmental or can be private too. The other important item, which is also in line to the market trend, the request by the customers, by the government, and whatever, has four major values. One is energy efficiency and sustainability. This is totally in line to the KNX Association, let me say, elements and research like the examples here reported. The value of the user experience, which for us means for the occupant, that can be a guest in hotel or an occupant in a house, and to the building operators, which also means for us who is a system integrator, who is the specifier, who is the architect, who is the person that will manage the service later on. We promote connected and secure room and zone applications in order to provide not only the automation, but also the ability to command in multiple ways, let me say, the set point, the lights, and so on, in the same way to be secure. And another important item that many of our products are generating much more information compared to the building automation part in order to manage an information that can be used for the maintenance, for other type of applications, or for simply export some of the data that are generated. That's in a certain way is our engagement and commitment to contribute to the smart buildings. Having said that, let's go really in practical details. From a design perspective, we own 5 different lines. You can see here the Eelectron mini pad with the ability, and you have all this information here in the presentation, in the website, and whatever for more details. The ability to have different colors, so you can make the engraving based on the functionality that you want to achieve, is an 8 buttons functionality, and you have also LED or RGB LED that can be applied in order to program specific functionalities and of course to manage all the let me say additional functionalities that you may be requesting. The second line that you are, this is really a bestseller, which is the 9025, which is glass-based. You can see that you have a variety of type of user interfaces that can be for push button, upper buttons, for thermostat, customization capabilities like bedside panels. And of course, you have multiple ways in which all these devices have a symbol, an icon to each single button to explain what is the function. Can be done locally on site with a patent system for icons to be inserted in the device, so it can be directly engraved from our factory that deliver worldwide the solution. The latest, let me say, switch and thermostat line, you can see that there are also multiple different shapes and layouts that can be used. It's called OLU, which is better living for all. You can see that there's a variety of material, variety of buttons, and as well the capability to really use a plug-in different models, of course, including the US version of the power supply and so on, enables you to promote a very design awarded let me say solution for buttons 6 or 8. You have multiple configurations, multiple materials, and of course, with the functionalities that here exposed, so our mechanical buttons, you can apply multiple functionalities. There is an RGB bar and also a capacity swiper here that you can implement in multiple ways that you see very quickly now. The thermostat itself can also be exposed in a North America concept while we are selling worldwide. So we are basically applying all the standards that are available. It's also another way on which you can drive with a capable display, both temperature, humidity, CO2 version, and you can see on the left side with the display that show this. And the RGB bar here can be used, for example, to set the typical green, orange, and red color in reference to the level of CO2 or in terms of set point or other functionalities that can be totally done and capably done by the programmers, because all of this is programmed through the ETS tool that David earlier mentioned about that. As I said, there is a specific functionality, which is a slider. We are using this to change the set point that you can use when you can see here in this image. You can change the set point. You can change the volume when you connect, for example, to Sonos. You can change the light intensity and other functionalities. In addition, you can use the single tap or double tap for associate function. For example, very often we are requested to use this to one tap, switch on all the lights, two taps, switch off all the lights. And this is again made by the ATS tool. There is a wall-mounted solution that here is exposed. This is also equally valid for the thermostat that shows you that you can really put on the wall when there are renovation or there are concrete or wood walls. And as I said before, the different layouts includes the ability to combine, for example, the 110 voltages plug that you are using in the US in some other countries. To complete the ability to provide the best user experience that can be in somehow support when you talk with architects, when you talk to end users, we talk to real estate companies that they requires a certain level in design. You can see here the different type of material and colors that are applied and that are available in order to fulfill, let me say, the interior design concept that maybe that your customer is working on, and that's basically the way. Phoenix is a carbon neutral material, which has you can basically reduce the that may be there is a matte in terms of the in the terms of reflection and whatever. So again, you are in front to something which can be really, let me say, very well presented to your customers. So we have a clear picture to the effort that you're doing. You can access, or eventually also you can register to a dedicated portal on which you can already create the customization as icons and all the other functionalities that are here exposed. You can do this in earlier phase, can be used to expose how it looks like, can be used to bring it to a tender program, and eventually when you're doing the quotation. From our point of view, we provide the physical technical check and returning through a digital channel all this information in order to manage in the proper way the project. There's a number of devices, type of device, type of customizations. All these customizations can also be the result of your icons that you want to use or your libraries to be very close to the style on which you are approaching. Without entering too many details, from a user experience point of view, in addition to what we saw, the touch screens are also something that we apply in a variety of solutions, horizontal, vertical, with a mobile app that is a mirror to what is exposed here in order to facilitate the user experience and to move in that direction any kind of request. And from that, you can see there is also the image because connects to the intercoms and many other options that are fully available in that respect. So while this closes the user experience point of view, let's enter now more in some of the other, let me say, features that the portfolio that we are providing on the market is really focusing on. An important item under the lighting control system also are, of course, the human-centric lighting management system, of which this is the ability to, over the day, to have a different intensity and color type. That's something that we are able to manage as a control directly from a platform or a family of multi-sensor, KNX based, which basically enables and confirms our scalability and modularity as a portfolio, on which you can have only the presence plus luminosity, plus temperature, humidity, CO2, VOC, sound that's decibel, if you needed to capture some information, and of course, so in the high bay concept when you have high ceilings and whatever. And there are collateral devices for corridors wide range and also for CO2 and VOC that can be equally used. BLE, it's also another functionalities that we deliver. Again, you can choose the model that is more fitting to your request. So you also have a good technical and commercial pricing point of view that can be really applied. How we use this, or what are the case studies that we had so far? As we said, the multi-sensor provide a variety of measurements. It's not anymore a presence sensor. It's not anymore a luminosity presence. It contains really multiple other functionalities that enable you to do what is typically called occupant-based activities, of which you have a place, a building with multiple areas or zones, can be offices, meeting rooms, lab, entertainment areas, and other, let me say, situations which need to control in the proper way, according to what we said before, and in the proper way per each specific area. From our perspective, this can also be a contribute for LEED, WELL, and the BREEAM for Europe certifications from healthy buildings, in addition to what can be the normal building automation point of view. So in the overall picture, you can see that we can combine these in multiple scenarios, multiple vertical markets that we said before. And of course, in addition to a KNX solution, we do participate to the DALI 2 association. So some of the devices are available in DALI, like the sensor that we saw before in KNX, for the cases which need to run a DALI sealing concept. And this is also complemented by push button interface that are in that direction in order to fulfill this kind of request that you need to have DALI in the ceiling, but after that you need to reconnect in the KNX in order to provide the other functionalities that are able to be delivered from a KNX perspective. These kind of devices are clearly available in KNX. I would say in KNX Secure because an important item in the secure room automation concept, KNX Secure is basically progressively introduced in all our devices. So you can see really here, let me say, the ability to provide push button interfaces, even to connect to your switch lines and whatever, mechanical, and to interact also with some specific devices to report temperature and the other topics like that really in a very smart and effective way. There is a variety of those devices. Each of them can provide multiple functionalities. Pardon, and this basically covers the situations on which we are really working on in different verticals, which additional functionalities may be requested. Rest assured that all is done through the ETS tool This is, from our point of view, really very complete in terms of parameterization and capabilities. And this is also what is the voice of customer telling us in the effort that you are doing to simplify the day in the life of business when you do programming, commissioning on the topics like that. As a part of our portfolio, we show you here some of the examples to what is available. We had recently introduced a KNX to Modbus gateway, in this case for Red 5, in order to manage all the cases which you may have in a building, in a floor, of which there is a couple of meters, maybe there is a sensor, maybe it is already existing, but it needs to be part to a smart building automation. So you interact and you collect from a KNX point of view in a bidirectional way on which you can send commands or receive status, can also be heat pumps, VRV systems, and other elements. And you manage the overall user experience from a KNX point of view, but you basically collect intelligent devices and you manage as a part of an extended interoperability application that you can apply. The functionality of this product is much wider, can also act in opposite to be Modbus slave to collect the data from a KNX world. That is one of the ways in which you demonstrate the ability to provide the functionalities and let me say flexibility to use. There are 250 Modbus devices that can be applied here, but all of these maintaining the ETS 6 as the tool which you can do this kind of functionalities. So all is basically on the ATS. In addition to Modbus, we provide a BACnet EP to KNX TP gateway. So this enables you, and especially as a KNX programmer, to bring data to a KNX project that is working with a certain functionality, but to be able to exchange data in terms of BACnet objects as a read and write, and of course notification to a BMS system or a automation engine that works in BACnet. The device has also a web server in order to provide a certain ability to do the easy commissioning and all the topics like that. There is clearly behind this a mission that we want to further evolve to reduce the engineering time or optimize the engineering time. And of course, there is also for BACnet specialists the engineering data exchange file that is generated in order to really give, let me say, all the functionalities to the upper level. Really born for the KNX programmers, but really to bring on the BACnet part of the picture. While these, in this way, we show in the portfolio that we are managing as well some gateways and whatever. Let me introduce now an additional group of devices that we are basically providing mainly in two vertical markets, in the residential part and also in some of the multi-tenants or mixed-use building. We need to have some functionalities that can be also complementing a BMS system. Parrot is first of this device, KNX Secure, is able to really combine the KNX project with voice control and the native user experience that are provided by Apple, by Google, and of course by Meta, on which we also Amazon, sorry, and on which we also added Meta as a further capability to create an application around the KNX solution in order to fulfill the request of the user experience in really in this direction. This is a very powerful and easy to use device, which basically drives the ability, for example, if you use a switch line, you want to use some of the functionalities like this wiper that we said before, to eventually interact with the Matter device according to the Matter categories of devices. Of course, it is to be done through an IP connection and so on, but also to take advantage to use the voice control and the native UIs for the, let me say, the devices that you can see here, also simultaneously connected. So we have cases, for example, we use it for some people with one of the three, with Apple, some with Google, and some with the Apple HomeKit, as a way in which we can really drive an ability to provide a simple way and intuitive way to command your house, your apartment, your building, or part of the building on which it is operating. This is clearly one of the ability that are available in the portfolio. But if we consider what happened in houses, just to make an example, so in the recent period, we need to consider that now photovoltaic systems, even with battery, heat pumps, chillers, VRVs, VRF, heating and cooling solutions that are also, of course, specific for the North American market, mechanical ventilation, metering, car chargers, and others require really something that goes to get in front to the user as a one user experience that you can see the overall subsystem that are in somehow controlling and optimizing, giving the comfort in your house. And of course, also the ability that is the request by system integration, by system integrators, people that we can manage locally and remote the assistance before and after that is installed. The Xter controller has a variety of functionalities that are here reported. Includes really many functionalities, of course, includes also a smart energy meter on which the combination of a photovoltaic, the battery system, car chargers, the appliances that you have in-house can be put under measurement and control to optimize the user inside the house or the zone that you are working. This device, of course, is natively natively combined with the period and give you really a variety of functionalities, which here you can see some examples. First of all, is usual the user experience. You can use a different type of graphics. You can import any kind of icons in addition to what we provide. Can be applied again to offices or, for example, in specific areas of the offices. Include the functionalities to create scenarios, schedulers, the alerts, and the technical notifications, presence simulation, the energy management and graphics, and you can see that can be done through a Mac or from a PC to a tablet, can be done by mobile, of course, but also you can report also some information from the smartwatch. And you can see also that you can also interact with the cameras in the respect to what you can do from an intercom system or from a simple images. There are advanced functionalities that are available in the Dixter, which is, for example, the open weather map. So this is very different to have a weather station. You basically have the information and the forecast for the next days. You can use them to control irrigation. So this is not only for energy, but also for lighting or for the comfort. You can manage to move the shutters in a certain position depending on the sun position or the fact that it's sun or not. There are many other functionalities that contribute in an energy manager. So really this provides an interaction with the data, which goes beyond what the weather station does, which is perfect and good, but is now in this moment, while for this you have a web forecast and situations like that. Mention the intercom system. You can interact with the devices. Some of the pictures are from North America for your information. And with that, you interacted, you can create the additional ability from your mobile to eventually open the door to the people that you like to enter, or to have a connection in streaming with camera to just observe a certain situation. Of course, to interact to what is the KNX project that you have in us in order to provide a wider, let me say, user experience to what we said is like one single user experience for all. Having said that, we need to consider that the full capabilities to be very synthetic of the solution includes a backend server connectivity, Modbus connectivity, the interaction to different intercom brands or cameras, Blue Sound, Sonos, Hue, the OCPP that is a standard protocol for car chargers that are becoming more and more popular, VMX on IP and others, and of course the one user experience and the Lua programming in order to assist the programmers and the system integrators with extra functionalities to fulfill the type of application requirement that is in-house, which can also interact with the different subsystems that are here reported and let me say moved on. So the other effort that we are doing to provide the technical documentation that you can also see on our website that are, let me say, mentioned before in order that you can be documented to the way to operate, to best practices, but also to some of the templates that are already available. And the other key and important feature is the ability by those devices to be connected in a remote service that can be done to make the programming, but also to make the, let me say, the commissioning and eventually diagnostic in a second phase when all is installed, that you can do that. This is a quite interesting and powerful tool because you have one only license for all your people, your company, and so on. This is not related to the voice control. The other functionalities are more related on that. And you really can use multi-sites and multi-users. You may have more people that are working with you and for you to certain jobs, and you can designate some of them for an area, a region, or for a building type, or a customer type. And these equally in any case combined in one solution, secure, in order to really preserve all the functionalities that are really important and forwarded. As I said before, this is not only for houses, can be applied in situations which you need to manage eventually apartments, offices, shops, and whatever, can also interact thanks to the KNX connection and to the backnet connection eventually to a building BMS, a building energy management system or a building automation system locally on cloud in order to drive all the goodness of the ability to have a project delivered with the functionalities, KNX, and so on, and to move on that. Having said that, I would consider that another key area by vertical markets refers to the hospitality part. This is something that we do for a lot of time, and this year reported some of the, let me say, examples. I would also say that we are now more closer to 1,000 projects to be delivered worldwide. Clearly, from a user experience, I will not enter in further detail. Just to consider the variety of the products that can be used. We include as a user experience also the multi-sensor because in the hotels or similar situations, the architect counts. So from a interior design, this can be something that contribute and also can contribute in a new construction or renovation. We do remember that the wires for KNX enables really to use very few wires compared to public solution or a proprietary solution, that is another benefit that work on. The technology that we apply inside our products include certain algorithms and applications to detect the presence inside the room of a guest because there are functionalities that detect the presence and keep the room energized. So we may enter into in the room, say one stage and then leave, all the rooms remains active as a lights, as a comfort and whatever. But thanks to the access control system, you can also manage differently the presence of the cleaning services compared to the guests in order to set a very simple but fundamental energy saving strategy according to the functionalities that the technology is well programmed that enables you to drive the full picture. So the virtual holder enables you even to not have the card holder inside the room because it's the combination of the information that we gather that enables you to detect the presence with the presence sensors to move on. For certain hotel chains, there is not only the fact to have, let me say, a card reader or a card holder that we will just briefly comment, but for example, with the Vanguard and as well with the Salto, we have a direct connectivity to the lock systems in order to set this kind of functionalities that are here reported as a part to interpret the user experience from one point of view, but also energy efficiency, sustainability, and other effects that are more related to the hotel staff, to the hotel owner, or to the hotel chain strategy. I think that we are basically passing all the major information that shows from our portfolio point of view. The solution itself includes a variety of different products that are available that you can find on our website when you can download many types of different, let me say, catalogs from a technical point of view, from a, let me say, more, let me say, commercial point of view that enables you to really provide a key vision in front to the people and in front to the, let me say, your customers or others. This is, for example, one of the examples. It's, of course, including some examples, case studies, references, and the reference to the portfolio, which enables you, even without the full technical details, to get information that at the same time if you need to promote to architect, to engineering firms or specifier the solution, you have all the details. The ability to expose what we said and to the topics that are basically available is also confirmed thanks to the advantage that we have demo kits that can be in here, which you can expose a device in a very nice way just in front of your customer or the stakeholder which we are talking about. There are technical demo cases to do test trainings and whatever. You can see on the right side that we have a vertical market oriented demo cases that enables you to really show the full solution and the ability to provide the various functionalities that are typical in an hotel, like you can see here, or in other verticals that you are referring. And from a testing or a mock-up room concept, there are demo kits and let me say, and this kind of functionalities that really helps you to provide, let me say, some of the tests can be done or can be installed in a showroom or can be really exposed from an overall perspective. I would say that this is from a portfolio point of view. What we do as a company in terms of the ability to really assist you as the best way. Clearly, we are really available for an earlier engagement and to make a cooperation if you are defining a project, you are receiving customer requests from can be design perspective, but also from an application perspective or from an other functionalities that we referred before. We can help and provide the support in a pre-sales phase, of course, as a project, as a product details, application solutions, and all the topics that stays behind that. There is, of course, an English speaking, but also Spanish speaking support. Of course, the German, Italian is also the additional that we use, of course, more around Europe, but that's really the technical support and all the quality process in case there is any topic that has been open in the way in which we properly operate. Despite we consider that we have a very low situations like that because all the products are deeply tested. All the products are each one by one is tested during the production phase and before is becoming part of the shipping from a warehouse standpoint. So there are many things that we are doing in order to really provide a quality, robust, and reliable product to be applied in your projects. There are the ability from our point of view to what we saw, for example, in an example to a glass that has been shipped and delivered years ago to customers. They can eventually ask material because maybe they want to do an extension in their project or there is something to be replaced, either broken or with other functionalities. So we really deliver the ability to provide the advertised per years. All the devices are totally upgradable from a software and firmware point of view in order to make a quick renovation if there is something requested, very special or something that happened to be applied. And of course, as like this kind of webinar, we have all the, let me say, all the social networks, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, or X, and so on, all the other like that, of which the information are shared and propagated. There is a newsletter on which we ask you really to subscribe because you receive in an earlier stage and in advance the information that may be requested from a news, from something that is going to appear, the presence that we may be in an exhibition with David, Lucia. We were in the CEDIA Denver in earlier September. So wherever we are going or we will basically, let me say, make a combination of information in order to be aware that we are around, and of course, in addition to any kind of support that we do in that point of view. I would say that you see today really a full, how can we say, view about the solutions in terms of product applications and vertical market approach that we're taking. So this gives you the sense to how we can assist you and your customers to provide design-based products, building automation, really powerful applications, smart application, and the combination of this is across the KNX, let me say, portfolio, but also interacting to the other devices like Valley, Modbus, all the other protocols that we have referred before based on the application. So that's, in my opinion, a little bit in a nutshell to the today presentation of an extract of our portfolio that can be really used in the North American market and the way in which we can work on. David, I think that I passed all the key elements that are important from that point of view. I would consider if there are questions, notes, and comments. I'm really here to assist and eventually to support. That's basically all for this webinar, that we want to try to be also a little bit synthetic, but give the sense to the extent of the portfolio that we are, by the way, continuously evolving, expanding in respect to the market and the customer requirements. And that's something that happens quarterly based. David,
Excellent.
thanks again.
No, excellent presentation, and Dario, you've done very good at being spontaneous and quick on it. It is an incredible line of products that yeah, and they are adjusted for the USA market along with all the international markets you cover. We're very impressive, very impressive. At this point, I don't see any outstanding questions. We're right in the time limit very nicely. I'll let you wrap it up, Dario.
Yep. Okay, so I think that that's all from our side. We are here to assist if there is any need. You can feel free to contact us and to move on. All the measure details, as I said, are available to the website. This presentation, of course, will be shared and available, David, after the call. That can be also a part of any kind of recall and so on. So happy to assist you when there are requests or informations that are needed to define projects and the others. And again, we are here to support, to really give you the, let me say, the value that is already used in many projects worldwide. And of course, that can be also the case for the North American part.
Fabulous, fabulous. With that, thank you very much. That concludes our 2025 webinar for Eelectron. Please follow through and check out their website and their products. And if you have other questions, you can get back to the knx.us as well as check out knx.ord. Thank you, everyone, and wish you all a good day.
Thank you, everybody, for your time. Thanks, David and Christian, to organize, of course, with Lucia. And let's keep in touch as usual. Thanks again and have a good day. And for us,
Absolutely.
it's coming now the evening. Thank you so much.
Yes.